Jellyfish.
Hi everybody, my name is Tom Solid and I welcome you back to another episode about gaming actually. Maybe some of you, my Paperless movement community, remember I published a video about Apple Pencil gaming where I showed my favorite games on the iPad using an Apple Pencil. Today it's all about games for kids. And it's a really controversial topic, you know. I have 3 kids now. The youngest is 3 months old and the oldest one is 4 years old. And of course, as a technology-loving father, I am always thinking about what can I actually show my kids and what they are allowed to play with and so on. And we had a lot of discussion going on in the Paperless Movement Facebook group. How much is too much for your kids playing each day or watching TV and so on. My wife and me as parents, we really want to give the basics to the kids. You know, giving kids roots and wings so they know where they come from, but they're never afraid to go out there and discover new things. There is a reason that Bill Gates never allowed his kids using an iPhone, or why Steve Jobs actually never allowed his kids using an iPad, or even Mark Zuckerberg didn't allow his kids to use the Messenger app in Facebook. That is the reason that these leaders of the new technologies actually didn't allow their own kids to use the technology, because they know how impacting these technologies are on kids. Maybe you know this. When your child sits on a TV screen, they just switch off. They're focused on the picture and so on. They are gone. I think that's really a dangerous thing. Letting your child sitting alone on a TV, watching for hours a TV show and so on. This for sure will have an impact on your child. As you know, the Paperless movement, the green and the blue sign, symbolizes nature and technology. And it's the same for us. We go out into nature, playing with our kids, painting, drawing, you know, using paper. You know, you have to get physical things to activate the brains of your children, the creativity, the interactivity with the surroundings and environment, and the social behavior with other kids. It's only possible if you are in real world. Nevertheless, there are some times where I show my kids new technologies as well, but my wife and me really decide carefully what we actually show our kids, what our kids can watch in the TV, and they are never alone doing this and playing around. So with this experience that I made as a father, or we as parents, I want to show you today 5 games where I think this is something my children can play with and it's actually useful for them as well. So I want to start with one thing that really fits into the mindset of the paperless movement actually, which is the combination of nature and technology. And this comes from Robotic. I don't know, maybe some of you know this already. It is actually a big box here that you can order on Amazon. I will put a link in the description for this one. What this is, why this is such a big box, if you open it, you have actually physical things in here. So this is wood, okay? So there are wooden letters and there are wooden numbers as well. So this is actually something they can touch and they can feel, and you know, they see the numbers and so on. And then you download apps. There are several apps from this company. They are all for free. You just have to get the starter kit and then you can use these apps with the letters and so on. And what the children can do then, they can actually stamp onto the app. So for example, they want to write a word, for example. My 4-year-old child does it very well. She wants to write her name, so she takes her letters and just stamps it, and the app even is saying what was already written. It's the same with the numbers. There are different stages, how complicated it is. It's with calculations or it's just with counting and so on. So you can imagine I'm really in love with the idea that they actually play around with real wooden things on the iPad, so they are not completely disconnected from the reality surrounding them. And how this actually works, if you compare the backs of the letters, you see these black dots, which is rubber. And this works like when you put it on the iPad, it is for the iPad that you would put 3 fingers. And just the constellation, how the rubbers are placed, the app will recognize what letter you're actually putting on there, and it works really, really well. Just want to make clear here, I bought this on my own, so it's not sponsored or anything. I just thought that's a really good thing, and I will invest the money to check this out. And as I said, it totally fits into the spirit of the paperless movement. So the next game I want to talk about is called My Very Hungry Caterpillar. And I actually love this game, and I'm sure many of you out there, parents out there, remember this from their childhood. And that's now available as a game as well. And it's so nice to see and to look at. It's really a calming music in the background. And the target in this game is just to feed the caterpillar until it becomes a butterfly. And this really trains the children to care for this little caterpillar. So I can tell you, my children love this game. Another game my children really like to play with, and I really like to watch them playing it, is called Janosch, the Trip to Panama. This is, again, there's a story. It's a very old story already, and many parents know this, especially in Germany, they know this story. And it's really a beautiful game where it's actually storytelling, but it's with interactive little mini games in between, so the bear and the tiger can carry on moving around the world and discover all the different parts until they reach Panama. So I really love this game. It's a really calming game as well. I don't like this, overpowered super Candy Crush things. I think it, especially young children, it makes them crazy. So we are really looking for this. They're really calm during playing this, and that's why we love this game as well. Another one is called Little Fox Nursery Rhymes, which is actually, how can you call it? They're actually different themes you can activate. For example, Old MacDonald Has a Farm. The song everybody knows, so you have a theme with it, with a lot of animals on it. If you touch them, they do certain things, and in the background the song is playing Old MacDonald Has a Farm. The other thing is, children can actually sing along with it and record themselves and play them back, or they switch off the song so they can just play around on the theme itself. They can switch between summer, winter and so on, for example, on this theme. And there are several themes they can choose from, like the London Bridge and so on. But very nice as well. It's not very obvious, but there's a part in the app, it's called Music Box. And if they go in there, they actually can just tap around and make some music, tapping on bottles and so on and make some sounds. That's really a nice app, and that's something with music behind. They can sing along, they can make music on their own, and it's a really cute thing to watch it as well. The last app I want to show you, I think it's really a very nice art style. It's very hard to describe. It's called Petting Zoo, and the art style is really beautiful. There are animals, if you touch them or if you swipe over, they make different movements, how you actually touch them. And it's, as I said, it's a really beautiful art style. So that's it. These are the 5 games we really love, and we tested many more games obviously before our children played them. So if you have any games for your children where you think, okay, that's some educational or that's fun to play and children really love, please leave a comment below and let us know. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your parenting friends, but also subscribe to the channel because we talk a lot about this stuff in the future too. Okay, have a good time, and I see you next time.